Hey.
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. You're with Mystic Sisters for Mystic Sisters Live Into the Mystic. Here we go.
On Saturday night.
Saturday night, February 1st.
Ooh, what a week. What a week. What a week. My condolences again for your loss. There isn't anybody I can tell this to that if you made it through January, you freaking nailed it. You nailed it. What a month.
Right, right. Yeah. And the majority of it in the energy of, it doesn't have to be that way. Perhaps there was like that, always that little bit of hope that wasn't going to be what was happened, and then it happened, and it's like one Scaramucci and a day or two later, and we're just like it's literally like somebody took they used to have the chamber pots in the old days,
Yeah.
and somebody took the chamber pot and somebody turned a fan on and somebody threw the chamber pot in front of
Yeah.
it, and now
And I was walking under it. We text each other regularly, and I'm like, is it Uranus going direct? Is it all this like Aquarian, Uranus ruled Pluto stuff? Like, this is overwhelming.
Well, the Republicans finally got shock and awe down to a science. Remember, shock and awe was supposed to be the Bush administration, and it was just sort of like not quite that. And then, of course, there was mission accomplished, which that
Yeah.
didn't either.
Yeah.
But this guy's like, yeah, this is shock and awe, and people
Yeah.
are really. You know what I think shocks me the most, in a way, is they're just unfamiliarity with the thing that they're trying to destroy. Like I just don't think they know how it all works, and that you can just pull plugs and everything, like it doesn't work that way. It's so interconnected.
It's really putting somebody like an undergrad in a CEO position.
Not even an undergrad. How about the kid in the remedial class in 6th grade who's still there? That's who they're putting in charge.
You know what? I think at one point I might write this.
Remedial students, by the way, we all learn in different ways, but
I want to know.
We all have the same jobs,
right? I want to know if Hegseth is still sober, and I think we'll pull a card on that later. So I might just write that down because I can't imagine.
Wait a minute, I think I have $1 here. Let me bet. I'd say he's snookered right about now. I don't know why I'm not snookered right about now, honestly.
You know what? There is. I know I don't drink. I haven't had a drink in such a long time. I need a calculator, honest to God. I might at some point, since I'm in my senior, level of consciousness anyway, my wisdom years, have a drink at the end of this party.
We call them wisdom years here. Don't you say anything.
We call them wisdom years. The grocery store calls them crone cash.
Ooh, I like that. I'd go for that.
Yeah. That's what I call it, actually. It's not them, but yeah, I'm all about it. I
call it never go to the grocery store on a Tuesday afternoon. That's what I call it.
Yeah. So what do you think about this? This is a good topic. And hello, everybody. Antoinette's granddaughter, I think it's your birthday.
Kindergarten. Yeah, if they're lucky. No, in kindergarten, you have to be nice to each other.
Yeah, that's when they teach you you're not supposed to bite and scare people.
Would it be asking too much if I suggest that you two meet daily for our sanity? Well, yeah, maybe. Who knows?
I'm open. We can check in. Antoinette's granddaughter, it is her birthday. Thank you for spending your birthday with us. What an awesome honor. And happy solar return. Woof.
Yes, talk about Pisces in your solar return, my dear. So
Ooh.
this morning I did my video from here because I wanted to show the chart because
Yeah.
just to describe it, I was like, they're gonna think I'm making this stuff up. So it was just like Pisces Palooza, and of course we had Venus conjunct Neptune, Neptune, the higher octave of Venus,
Yeah.
in a Venus in the sign of her exaltation. Powerful Venus energy. Venus conjunct the North Node today. The Sun conjunct the North Node today. No,
And visible in the night
Sun,
sky.
not the Sun. It's semi-squared the North Node today. What were you saying, sweetie? I'm sorry.
Visible in the night sky.
Oh, when I came out of the house to come down to the office to do this,
Yeah.
it was beautiful. I just I don't have a good camera on my phone. Otherwise, you'd all be seeing like moon pictures every day. Every time I see something cool up there, I take a picture.
Yeah. I think it's coming up behind me. I would have to use my app to actually locate it, and I probably would have to go up on the roof to look on the west,
It's southwest. It's
southwest sky. Yeah, that's where it's been hanging because I haven't been able to see it. Well, it went new, which, oof.
And this is the we have the sun moon. We have the Venus moon conjunction, which is today.
Yeah.
That's what you're seeing in the sky tonight. And I don't think this may be the last time we see Venus. I meant to watch Gemini Brett today, and I didn't have a chance. Before she goes below into the underworld,
Yeah.
and then she'll come back up as the morning star because in March she's going March 1st. She's going retrograde, and she's moving into Aries this week. I think on the 4th, 3rd of the 4th, she's moving into Aries.
In the same sequence of time, in like the Aries, Pisces going whoop, whoop.
Yes. Okay. Everything, pretty much most of the activity, which is uncommon actually, but most of the activity at a cusp this year is the Aries Leo cusp. Every planet is going over that cusp, save for Jupiter is not, and Pluto is not, because Jupiter is going to stay it's going to move into Cancer, but it's not going to be on that cusp. But I think almost everything else goes through that cusp.
Yeah.
Because we have Saturn going into Aries for a bit. We have Neptune going into Aries for a bit. We had the nodes of the moon in January go from Aries to Pisces. And the Venus retrograde is happening at that axis. And that axis is the axis of the emergence of consciousness.
Yeah.
And so I know it's really, really hard right now, but I don't think worrying about every little shitting thing that this moron does is the right way for you to be wasting your energy, honestly, because there's not a lot you can do about it. Like if you're in a situation where you can work towards the resistance of this, then certainly do that, and you want to donate to the resistance, but your own mental health and your own well-being needs not be negatively affected. You cannot allow these people to take your joy away. And it's really hard. So when you feel it slipping away, you got to go do something that's going to bring the joy back in.
Yeah. It is really hard because and I think you can agree without even thinking about it, it hasn't even just been like overwhelming for what's occurring in the country, but even personally, it's been kind of a wake up call kind of a week, and certainly January as well. That's been like, wow, if you haven't learned how to do some kind of centering and focusing and breathing, this is time to learn.
Yeah.
It's been hard. Giblets is up, so he'll be about himself if he can see me. So far, so good. But I got cheese ready, so we're okay.
Okay, good. Well, I think people are just hoping that he sees you because everybody loves to see him. But don't worry, he'll come on. I'm sure he'll smell the cheese at some point. He might not be able to hear the cheese get unwrapped, but he can smell it.
It's in the kitchen. Oh God. He's just, oh my gosh, he's just gotten so loud. You know how old people, and I mean, you don't have to be, you just have to listen to a loud concert for a few years. When they can't hear, when they're losing their hearing, they just get louder.
What? Oh, sorry.
It's been just accelerating. Okay, I will get cheese for you, but you got to come here first. I got this.
So let's see. Find people who voted for Trump and are angry. Tell them to contact their senators and representatives. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's something we could definitely do. Even if like my senator is Elizabeth Warren. I think she knows how I feel about all of this because it's how she feels. But it does help because just the intention of you putting that energy in and writing a little email, it makes you feel like you've contributed, even though you may have somebody who's already doing that. But it just puts the energy in the right place. Instead of putting the energy on that, on Felon 47, put the energy on the things that are going to make you feel like you're doing something to move us in the right direction. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be big. It just has to be because those things get multiplied.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just in case anybody on this call is from Canada, I went on Facebook today and said, Canada, I'm sorry. And Michael's like, you didn't do anything. I'm like, I know, but I love Canadians. I love Mexicans. I love everybody. I wish we didn't have to have this person doing this and hurting people. But we did everything we could on this end.
Just ruining the relationship of it. And honest to God, it's like even in living in a blue state and feel a little cocky about that, thinking, oh, we're protected. Even then the sites went down, like the government sites went down and pay. And that was nothing that just completely buckled us.
Yeah.
For a few hours, right?
Well, in a way, it's kind of odd. I think what Trump may do in the end is show us that we, in fact, do need a government. But that we need one, and we don't have, our government isn't all that bad. It's bureaucratic for sure, right? But it's also understaffed. They've been understaffing that stuff, and then when things go wrong, they say, "Oh, it's the government." No, it's the people who understaffed it for the last. And this whole airplane thing.
Same. It's an understaffed population, and there's been cuts that were, people put in place to ensure the safety. And we've said it, and we didn't know how it would happen, but there's going to be a trail of bodies in this guy's path.
Yeah,
we can make the connection. Right? We can make that connection.
I think that one of the things we have to try to really avoid, I'm sorry, I'm out of the picture, but I'm trying to take my boots off because my feet are hot, and that annoys me.
Oh, it does.
I'm like, wait a minute, they're a little too hot for me. But we can't keep demonizing the people who were either deluded enough, tricked enough, or was just not really paying all that much attention to it, that they voted. They have the right to vote for who they want, right? Even if we don't agree. So we can't be beating them people up too much. We're angry, I know, But I think we need to put a hand out. We need to show them, kind of what it means to be a Democrat. Like, yeah, we really kind of believe that we're here to help each other and build it together and build a democracy and you know
I know every time we get an opportunity to actually do that, we just get pooped on and cheated on and betrayed.
well, we have to wait for more of the effluence to to hit more of the fan. We just have to wait it out because it's going to get miserable. I was listening today that the tariffs, the Canadian tariffs, one of the things they were going to do is they were going to tariff things that go to the red states.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to put the tariffs on that to put pressure on the red states because they voted for Trump, which
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's pretty that's pretty smart there.
Yeah.
Canada. I'm like, that's kind of sly.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, the blue states have been targeted for all these ICE raids and stuff like that. So
and natural and disasters, right? Things falling out of the sky, neighborhoods burning down, So we were talking about this off today, but going back and forth, me and Ona, about the helicopter, the med flight that crashed.
yes.
So that med flight was from Mexico. The people who were on that flight were from Mexico. They were going from probably Philly or maybe
Yeah, there's a children's hospital
right,
in Philadelphia. I think the kid had a procedure.
and then they were flying back they were going to fly to Tijuana. So that's what I heard from the news in Philadelphia. I think it was a Philadelphia news station.
I don't think you can get to Tijuana from Philadelphia in a Learjet, and certainly not a costly, expensive $10,000 a minute medical one.
I don't know. That's what this is. This is what I heard from the station. So
Sounds like a weird story, but maybe.
I don't know. It just seemed like just the pictures that I saw that it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was on fire coming down. It was, you could see it was like actually on fire, and then if that's what it looked like anyway. Maybe I'm wrong, but it was at night. How do you know? You can't know. I wasn't there. You're looking at a door ring camera. I'm sure they have a better idea of what happened and all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, Paula Z said those flights in Learjets are donated. Yeah, a lot of times they are.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know if they're equipped to or have a big enough fuel tank to actually get from like Philadelphia to Tijuana. It seems like a long flight and a long path, but I don't know that much. And a medical one, no, I don't know. But definitely bizarre and unlikely that 2 plane crashes.
Oh, they were going to Missouri. They were going from Philly to Missouri.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I heard the thing about Tijuana. I think from the news in because I think that's the only place that I read that.
Yeah.
Possible. I look at a lot of things. Maybe I'm not accurate with that, but this is for entertainment purposes only, ladies. And I did a reading today, and I did it early in the morning before I had my coffee.
Yeah.
And I couldn't think of like all the technical words for things, so I described it, and I kept saying, you know what I'm talking about, you guys, right?
Yeah.
And somebody commented, you should get your facts straight before you get on. I'm like, I'm just like, come on.
You know what? And you gotta like, part of you is like, oh, come on, man. But the other part's like, everybody's as angry as me.
Yeah, that it's all right. I mean, I don't.
Everybody's as angry as me. This flight thing, they're talking about like going to Tijuana and stuff like that. That it was probably the medical thing, the medical helicopter.
No.
A lot of times we do, you guys, we do treat refugees here at Shriners Hospital. So, some things can make sense that, I could see where,
And
we don't know about the patient.
I think it just took off too. It was like it had just taken off, and then
Yeah.
I heard 7 people on the plane, and then 1 person in a car, because I think it went into like either a parking lot or maybe a street, and then there's other people being treated in area hospitals for injuries, and I don't know how many there were at the time. I heard they're not giving out names. They're not, they're not.
Yeah. But that's not uncommon, and they do have donations for those Lear jets to be able to transport people. But yeah, we definitely do treat people who are refugees.
Oh, according to BBC, they were stopping in Missouri before going to Tijuana. You are correct, Dr. Vicky. Yeah. Yeah, maybe one of the doctors was from Missouri, and he just says, "Hey, let me get on the Learjet and fly home."
Yeah.
Except that he flew home to his maker. Poor things. Poor things.
Yeah, life-saving treatment. I know. So I don't know if it's a fluke, but I'll tell you that these things, especially this Pluto Sun conjunction, I think since that week started.
Right. Well, that was the day. That was the 20th. No, the 21st.
Things definitely you can go right into the astrology of it.
Yep.
Makes sense. It absolutely makes sense, the way things are manifesting themselves and the way they're in the sky.
Plus, let's just remember that everything that he's doing right now is with Mars retrograde. Mars retrograde in Cancer, like it's almost like acting out of fear. Once Mars goes direct, these things are going to be looked over again. I say that like there are a lot of things that are not going to go through that he's just scaring us with, but we do have to pay attention to what we'll get through, and we have to pay attention to what they're not mentioning, and that's the hardest part.
Right. This isn't a transparent presidency.
We don't even know how he got the boo-boo on his ear. We never got that.
Yeah, that healed overnight.
We never got his medical records. We never got his taxes. Maybe he doesn't actually even exist. Maybe he's a hologram.
You know what? He could be. I don't know. I did a mental health spread on him today. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, but he's being supported by all his base. He's just kind of riding their coattails. So I don't know. He's kind of just a figurehead, which is the one thing that helps you sort of think, calm yourself down. Like, he isn't really the one that's in charge. That there has to be a lot of processes that follow these declarations and things like that before they actually become concretized, right?
So I picked a Mystic Sister card for the evening, and I got Soma Goddess. Soma. And it says wholeness, integrity, and centered. The Soma Goddess is here to remind you that you are a perfect expression of the universal life force, always have been. Wholeness comes when you awaken to the reality that wherever you are on your path, there you are. You are precisely where you belong right now. So of course, all the changes you strive for are in process, and there will always be soul work to do. Our lives are dynamic, but every point on your path of growth, you are whole just like you are. When you fully realize that the feeling of wholeness is a birthright, from the cradle to the grave, true peace is yours. Yeah, it's self-acceptance. If you accept yourself, you don't really have an issue with anybody else.
That's
And if
very
you have an issue with
encouraging.
everybody, then you definitely are not accepting of self.
Yeah.
Everybody is a reflection of us on some level.
Yeah.
Some bigger than others. Everybody.
People are a reflection of your mood.
Well, we to a certain extent we do
Right?
energetically create our own reality.
Yeah.
To an extent, not completely. We still sort of go by, a lot of the conditioning that we had in the history. But there may come a time when all the history is gone, and the only thing we have is the moment. And that's what Aries is about. And that's where we're going to have the Neptune Saturn conjunction at 1 degree of Aries, the I am. I am here now. I am here now. But that's in 2026. So we still have a year's worth of effluence hitting the fan and cleanup.
When does Mars go direct? I know I could look in my calendar and
The
start flipping
23rd.
February.
February 23rd. Yes. So we have 22 more days of Mars retrograde. Right. But it's okay. It's going to be people are getting made. You don't think Mars it's actually it was actually on the United States Mercury, but it has moved back away from that, and it's going to go to 17. But once it like comes up onto that Mercury in the United States chart, yeah, no, you're going to hear stuff. You're going to hear stuff.
Yeah.
People are I think people are just like they're just in shock and awe, and that was the whole point. And so it's there's a whole book written on it. I think it's called catastrophe. It's not catastrophobia, but it's like you create catastrophes and then you do power grabs,
Yeah.
which is kind of what I think is going on now. So um, yeah.
Well, I know it's going to straighten itself out. It's just really frustrating because it's all like it just scares you into opening your cabinets and seeing how much non-perishable items you have, and then remembering the COVID's paper towels and toilet paper thing, eggs. That's just one little fear bomb after another.
Yeah. Mary Hutchinson's wants to know if I think she's talking about the Venus retrograde. Is it similar to the Mercury with pre-shadow? We're actually in the pre-shadow. We have the conjunction of the Sun and Venus at 3 degrees of Aries. And that's when she becomes Aries start and the morning star. And that's when she really puts on her battle gear. So
I mean,
Venus is
yeah.
prepping for battle, guys. Prepping for battle.
Yeah. Yeah. She could be mean.
She won't take prisoners. Not when it's her autonomy. I mean, look at what happened when they took one right away from us, right? And if it wasn't for the media, we probably would have our rights back, and Kamala would be in office right now.
Well, I don't know if it's the media or if it was actually truly, and I believe if it was, it'll come out. Giblets is choking on cheese, so it must be true. Manipulation of all the cyber stuff that we were talking about, like cyber attacks, things that were happening to all the little cells in hospitals around here. Like everybody was having these little micro cyber attacks.
Yeah, you were talking about those for a couple of years.
And then something like this occurs, and it seems so odd, and we're not challenging it with a possible cyber issue, which they just pulled again this week with the government money and the food stamps. I don't like all these like public funds, they pull the plug for a little while and freak people out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Medicaid, which is people who need help,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of nursing homes. I mean,
Yeah.
I think a half, no, 2/3 of nursing home people who live in nursing homes are there under Medicaid.
Yeah.
And some people will even plan their eventual demise by like moving their money around and then not having money, and then they become eligible for Medicaid.
Yeah.
So it's sort of in dispersed with the way that we do things. So it is I don't know. I again, I refuse to I guess I'll do what I can on my end and deal with what comes my way, but I don't know what else to really.
Right.
I don't want to. I'd rather not lose sleep today, so I can be well rested for tomorrow. Kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. Preserve yourself. Definitely. And the small things too. I know it's hard, but when things are really raining down on you, to just have some things that you can appreciate that are so simple and so ridiculous, like taking your shoes off after you've had them on for 12 hours. You're like, oh, that feels so good. Even if it's something that simple, to really appreciate it, because you've got to get to you not sink into this fear place all the time. Then you just sort of start craving it. Crave the good stuff. It's hard.
There's a mention, and let me just go down to it and see.
Yeah.
I should be able to do that thing over the thing, right? I think I have to click on that. Oh well, sorry guys. I didn't. Something about the south node here. I mean the nodes. Saturn is going to be squaring. I think is it. No, it's not squaring yet. It's going to square again. It's been squaring his nodes because it got up to before it went retrograde in I think it was July. It was at 21, 20 or 21 degrees, and then it went retrograde. Now it's going to come back. Now it's direct, and it's going to come back, square the nodes, and then eventually the nodes are going to square his nodes, and that's sort of a node. That's a crossroad. That's always a crossroad energy, and that's how I think that's happening a little bit later this year. So he's um, it's just going to collapse. The whole thing is going to collapse, and we're going to be bruised and battered. But I think we'll be able to rise up from it. I do.
Yes.
And I don't think, that doesn't necessarily mean he's leaving. He might just not have a whole lot of power, and he'll just squawk and squawk, and hopefully the Democrats can build some consensus.
Greg Smith asked, won't that affect his health? Yes.
Yeah, and he still has Uranus squaring his Mars one more time, and now Uranus just went direct, and so it's moving towards that exact square. The last time that exact square hit was when he was that July 15th when he was the first assassination attempt.
There are definitely like things you want to remember. Those are these days when, and following how it's tracking his own chart, there's some challenging times ahead. Health, finances, everything pretty much. So
we'll see. I don't know about his finances because he seems to always be able to find it somewhere. But
yeah. But I don't think he's paying his people or he's hoarding. I don't know, but he's never had as much as and isn't he not supposed to be profiting on the side? Well, he's still selling his shit. Isn't that like he's not supposed to be doing that? Like it doesn't even, he's not even like, he's so impeachable. Why isn't anybody doing anything?
This is my feeling. All
Just
he wanted to, so this is my, you can go do your thing. This is my diatribe. I think that he just wanted to stay out of jail. And then when he got in, he's like, all right, I'm going to go golf on the weekends. You guys do all the shit you want to do. And, good luck with it. And if you need me to come in and blah, blah, I will. Um, I think he's putting it in the hands of these, um, what's the heritage, whoever these guys, the Project 2025 people. But then I also think that he could act like a hero and get rid of all those people and say it wasn't my idea, it was their idea, it was the Republicans' idea, and I'm gonna save you from that, because he loves being the hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he cares about enemies.
He cares enough to be retaliatory. You know, if he didn't care, he'd be like, yeah, look where I'm sitting now. But no, he's like pulling people out of positions that where they were vetted, and it's just creating such a big mess. Like, who's going to clean that up when it's over?
Yeah, the emoluments laws back in his first term. Yeah, I think in his first day or his first breath
Yeah.
president back in, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's following Putin's lead. Yeah, that too. I mean, yeah, sure, he's willing to. He doesn't want to do the work, though. He doesn't want to have to do any of the work. He's just, he'll just be the figurehead and do what he needs to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, throw up. Yep. His main job is to distract, throw up. Well, throw up a smoke screen. I was going to say, I think he's got us thrown up.
Yeah, it's the gaslighting is insane. You know, we recognize all these things now, I think, because of him.
Oh yeah.
The
He's
narcissistic personality.
he's just he's the bull in the china shop. He's kind of the bull in the china shop with all of us. We have to wake up to it. The sooner we wake up, the better off we're going to be. The sooner we realize that other people aren't our enemies and that we can work together and cooperate. It's just that you have these people who, kind of know how to manipulate our nature. Even those of us who are empathetic, they know how to manipulate it. So that's when they like to stab us, like, haha, we made another liberal cry, haha.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there are people that are waking up and coming to a realization that this administration is making an impact that is not a good thing on their own personal lives and farms and businesses and things like that.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a little while for those things to kick in, but they will.
Yeah.
And it's terrible because these people are lovely, decent people. They really are. They're just I don't know, maybe been fooled, but that's really what he does. Just a salesman. He's just a huckster.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about any of it as long as they're paying him and he gets to play golf and he gets to stay out of jail. And then he gets to hurt people who he thinks hurt him. That's the vengeance, golf, and
McDonald's. That's it. Right? There's not a lot going on in between those ears, but I just like, I need to find something to laugh about or I'd be crying all day long.
Yeah. I giggled on one of my videos and somebody said something about the inappropriate giggling. When is giggling ever inappropriate?
You know what? I don't know, because I can't walk around and, like I said, you're going to start craving that energy. If you're always negative, you're always going to find people to be negative. And when you can't, you start baiting people.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah.
So you get baited with somebody who's negative, and you're like, you're not going to pull me into that vortex. I'm not going to feed your craving right now.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of that. I've seen a lot of people be very angry online, like on videos that are expressing that they're angry or expressing anger, but saying they're not. So
Oh,
it's
Mars is retrograde and also out of bounds.
yeah,
And when it's out of bounds, it's like you lose all control of the martial feeling. That's why it's dangerous to be around, and that's probably in part what's creating a lot of the accidents. The things falling out of the sky and things crashing into things and all of that is
yeah,
that is that energy.
yeah. My goodness. What are you reading then? What cards are you pulling?
I'm pulling cards for the week ahead,
Okay.
and I'm
We're gonna
just
do a little groundhog thing tomorrow. I don't know um if we can get out there, but it's so very swampy outside. It's supposed to be a lot warmer tomorrow, but I'd like to take giblets out for a groundhog.
a groundhog expedition. See if you can find Puxatani. What was his Puxatani Paul or something?
Phil.
Phil he's dead though, didn't he die? Didn't
They did. We have what Woodstock Willie. I think
Oh, is that the one who died?
because that's where the Bill Murray movie Groundhog was filmed in Woodstock. So they have their own little like town square thing, and the ground and it's not. It's whatever.
You know that I hate to bring this up, guys, but it's a little bit funny. You know that thing he does, and I'm going to say he does that thing. You know this? That's like the groundhog. He does the groundhog dance, and it's like freaking Groundhog Day.
It's gonna be Groundhog Day. It'll be fun. So we'll see if there's something that Giblets wants to do that's fun, or I know we'll do timeout and then do something else. I don't know. It's a good day to take advantage of what is going to be about like 50 degrees.
Is it going to be? Yeah, it snowed here a little bit today.
That's what they said. It's going to be 50. I walked across the street at work yesterday just to like grab a salad, and I had an umbrella that completely broke and assaulted me and cut my finger.
Oh no, you and
I
your
walked across.
Don't you always do this time of year? You do something to your finger?
This hand's just completely busted, honestly. It's completely across the street. It was like a monsoon. I'm like, oh my gosh, these buildings really funnel it. This is so crazy. I'm like, ah. And when I got home, the streets were flooded, and the golf course across the street is just little pools where the sand trap is. There's like geese in there and stuff. And it was a flash flood. I'm like, oh, Pisces moon.
Yeah. That's the other thing about all this Pisces energy. We do really have to be careful of a lot of water for this month. So I'm going to show you the cards I got. First card I got for this week is the Queen of Swords.
Yeah.
Ooh, now, you know who I would love for that head to be. But perhaps somebody's head will roll this week. Heads are going to roll. Now, I'm not saying whose head. If it's going to be a head we like or a head we dislike.
You got some air energy going on there.
Yeah. And then we have the Fool, which, of course, is the Uranus card. It's the and we see Pluto there. There's Pluto in this card. For Pluto. Yeah. So this is about a leap of faith, perhaps, being in a place we haven't been before. Maybe because somebody lost their head. Oh, sorry, that wasn't me. Then we have the Queen of Cups.
I generally like her.
Yeah, she's a nurturer. She's So it's about nurturing. And then we have the 10 of Cups, which is happiness. And then we have death, transformation.
Ooh.
So it looks like something new is coming down the pike this week. And it's there is some happiness, or the 10 of Cups could be all the water. And that could be this kind of thing, right? Too much water transforming a place. So if you're in, like, if you hear that there's weather coming your way, just make sure that if you're in a low-lying area or stuff like that, that you're careful as best you can, you know.
Could it be like funerals and stories of the water deaths?
I don't know.
You know, because there was the DC, I mean, the Potomac one. Oh my
Oh,
God.
right. Yes. That was in the water. Yeah.
So a lot of news stories that'll still be a lot of stories about that. The first card I got was 8 of Air, and this is like 8 of Swords.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's time there, and it's kind of being like sort of locked in where you're like, oh shoot, I committed. Now I got to do this sort of thing. The second one is 9 of Fire. Why is this week starting how January ended?
Well, you know, 9 of Fire is standing up, holding your position.
Let's pay attention to this one. Is generosity of water is the Queen of Cups.
Mm.
And the last one is Ace of Air. So this Queen of Cups has got something, I don't know who she is, but that would be something to sort of figure out. Can I get 1 second?
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to look and see what people are saying while Ona gets that phone call that she needs to get. Can they at least vote down RF Jr. and I think not Cash Peters. I wish Cash Peters was running for something. I think Cash Patel is the one that actually scares me the most of all of those. I think JFK is. I think he's a little bit, you know, egomaniac, and it's easy enough to twist his words. He can barely speak. I'm not saying that I think he's a good person for the job. I'm saying that I think if he gets in, it won't be the disaster that people think it is. But, you know, I'm an optimist. And I don't know about Tulsi. She's, I kind of like the fact that she didn't call Snowden a traitor, because I personally don't think he is. You don't have to agree with me on that at all. But I think that he was trying to help us, to show us how our government is listening in, and that. So I think that's definitely. I sort of I don't know, felt okay about that, but we'll have to see. Is everything okay?
Yes, but that's how these things, like my kid has to stop by. So that's how these things go is I'm out front and I don't have any parking. Like, you got to come up here. Because I made some pizzas. I put them in the freezer. I'm like, stuff is here, like if you need to pick it up. So, you know what? It's just that whole kind of energy where things need to be addressed immediately and taken care of. Everything's good.
So I was talking about the people that had their things this week. Gabbard is still in with Russia. Yeah, I think so. But then, I mean, Gabbard's in with Russia. Trump is in with Russia. I mean, it's like she's not going to be the thing. I don't think she's going to be the thing that turns the screw on that. But I don't. I wish they would pick other people. I certainly wish they'd pick somebody besides Hedgehog, as Linda G calls him, which is great because it's a lot easier to say than Hexeth. They got the Democratic guy today.
Who?
DNC. I'm not going to remember. A guy
okay.
from Minnesota. That's all.
I watched a little bit of RFK and I was just disgusted. And I didn't watch any Tulsi Gabbard because I don't even want to waste my time.
Yeah. I didn't like Cash Patel. I thought he was a PR.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
And the problem with the FBI is that they decide what cases they're going to go after and what cases they're not. That's what you don't want. You don't want that person. You don't want Patel there. You don't want anybody who's going to be a patsy or a crazy person. I did his numbers, and his shadow is the 5 of Swords.
Okay, he's always going to cause chaos.
Well, abuse of power.
Yeah,
it's abuse of power. It's like so.
Yeah,
it's just crazy. Hexeth will be MIA because of his benders. We hope. Cash Patel is QAnon. Yeah.
Let me see if Hexeth has been able to stay sober.
Okay, that's the question.
Since he's been appointed, because that's pretty tough.
He said he would. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard running the Pentagon, right, and going sober all at the same time. They say don't get married and move and do 2 or 3 things at the same time. It's too much stress. We'll see how he does.
Has he been able to stay sober? He's not. He's a sick man. I know it was in Ace of Air.
Okay, so I think he's giving it the old college try, which is probably
giving it the college try.
Although when I was in college, I drank way much more than I do now.
You might have a sober coach.
Okay.
And then the next card is the generosity of water, or the Queen of Cups, which is the next new moon, Thursday, February 27th. That's a Queen of Cups day.
Do you know in February, the February starts with a Pisces moon and ends with a Pisces moon?
Interesting. A lot of water.
Yeah, I love the Pisces moon. I'm going to be happy.
This one was tough. I got to say, these last couple of days have been a little bit rough with the Pisces moon.
Well, of course, it's not just the moon in Pisces. It's everything in Pisces right now.
Yeah, I guess so. It seems like it's the parade for sure.
The Pisces parade.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. This is I'm interested in everything that's occurring from the perspective of just a clinical perspective of how people are getting angry and the different generational viewpoints on this whole everything that's occurring, and thinking about the astrology at the same time.
Yeah. Kathy McLaughlin says, I really believe that Ken Martin, that was his name, Ken Martin, the new head of the DNC, will save the party and eventually our democracy. I would love to see what the cards say about him. The only thing I would say is that we have to save the democracy. He's a leader, and that's good, but it's there's going to be a lot on us too.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Ken Martin. We get the 7 of Pentacles.
What are you reading on? What is the question?
This is Ken Martin. This is how the new head of the DNC. She wanted to pull some cards on him. So we have the 7 of Pentacles. Not a bad card, but generally just not ready to harvest yet. It's sort of waiting, and sevens are always about evaluation. So I think they're evaluating their resources
Yeah.
and evaluating what they have to work with. The Four of Cups. There's a divine discontent in the party, and I think he's going to have to overcome that sense of inertia. And of course, all the it's like after being really, really high and then coming down, like boom.
Yeah, he might be disappointed.
The Queen of Pentacles, which is money. So I think he's going to be good for that. The Universe. So this is the World card. So this is a new beginning. It's the beginning. It's the end of the old. What do you call that? The old guard, and a new beginning. But then we have the Seven of Swords. So there is. I think that he still has to fight that Seven of Sword energy is like theft and things like that. And I don't know if it's within the party itself or it's just the normal thing that the Republicans do. It's not going to be easy.
Cindy, she's wondering, Cindy, and thank you for coming. I'm wondering if our states will become countries more like Europe. And I thought about that. Like if everything is sort of generated to the states where they make their own decisions about stuff, are more people who know their rights will be preserved going to move to these states, and other ones where it will clearly be like red, blue, red, blue. Let me get this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I actually saw, I was actually looking today at the map of the United States when we had the eclipses. We had 3 eclipses that crossed the United States. And if I can find the picture, I want to just show it to everybody. Because this might be what the country ends up looking like. So let me, okay, I lost you guys. I'll find you though. See, when I do fancy stuff, this is when I get in trouble. All right, let's present. Share the screen. Share the screen. I'm getting fancy now here, folks. Nope. Okay. So this is the thing I'm talking about. This is the map that I'm talking about. And these were the eclipses. And I feel like we could actually become like 4 areas. I think we'll have the Southwest, we'll have the middle states and the South, the East, and the Great North. I think this is, the country is, I think there's going to be like where states get together and create their own like, almost like, what do they have in Canada? They have provinces. It's
Yes.
almost going to be like provinces. Yeah, I do think that's gonna, and I think maybe it's good. Maybe it's good. Instead of the blue states paying for all the red states who are trying to. It's nuts. It's just nuts. I think we'll eventually come back together as well, but it's going to be different. It'll be a different
provinces. Internet's granddaughter said provinces. Yeah, maybe something like that. I don't know. I don't know, but I think you could definitely see how that can occur.
Will New England become New Canada? No, I think Canada will become New England. No, just kidding. I don't know. I don't know. This, we could call it the Sains, or the live and let live. Let's call it live and let live. The Northeast will be Atlantia, and yeah, I like that too. That's cool. That's cool. I wonder what state's going to want to name the whole territory after them.
Right?
New Jersey-opia.
I don't know. There's so much. This week is going to be interesting. This month is going to be super interesting. We'll see what happens.
We will. That's all we can do. We do our best where we can. Um, help those who need help, help ourselves, make sure we're taking care of ourselves. And if it gets too overwhelming, shut it all off. Shut it all off. The most important thing is you, and we need to charge up. We need to charge up. So you can
Yeah.
be informed, but do not become obsessed with it. Go take a walk if you can, and do what you need to do to take care of yourself. So,
Don't feed it. Look for it. Go down that rabbit hole. We got to ride this out. I don't know how. We'll figure it out together.
we'll be here. We'll be here for the ride, ladies and gents. Thank you for joining us, everyone. It's always a pleasure. We're so happy that you guys come and hang with us. Thank you, Paula Z, for being the best wrench holder. I don't know what's that called. She has a little wrench
The monitor.
monitor. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys, take care. We love you, and we're gonna be fine. Namaste.